We are very pleased that our next speaker, whenever you hear the word computers, you talk about social media, immediately he comes to mind. He's Peter Kay. He is the voice of computer technology in Hawaii. You hear him on the radio on Your Computer Minute. He is the president of Cybercom Incorporated, which is a high-tech management company. And he has, over the years, started, 8 different high-tech companies. He is the man. He knows about the use of computers for your business, and he's going to share some of his knowledge about social media today. Mr. Peter Kay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Take whatever time you need.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here. I've got some really fun insights that I've just sort of uncovered recently, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So what I'm going to do today, quickly, because I'm going to try to catch up on time, is the topic, of course, is social media secrets. I'm going to talk a little bit, give you some quick statistics, some eye-openers that have really kind of really blown me away, frankly, about what's going on in social media. And then I want to talk a little bit about the differences between web media and social media. Many times we get these confused. And then I'm going to give you some examples of the secret. There's a really, really big secret of social media, and most businesses have missed it. So this is your opportunity for today. Most companies have missed this secret of social media, and I'll give you some examples. Long story short, Facebook has eaten the web. 93% of marketers use social media for business. That may or may not be a big deal for you. Listen to this. 90% of consumers trust peer recommendations. Only 14% trust advertisements. So if you think about that, your own experience when you go to Amazon.com, what do you trust about Amazon? Do you trust what the publisher says, or do you trust what the reviews say below, right? So we are trusting what we're kind of seeing from other people. Peer recommendations have a much higher trust level than what the advertisers say. Only 18% of, some of you may resonate with this, only 18% of traditional TV campaigns generate a positive return on investment. Here's a good one. Quick show of hands. Now you may or may not want to admit this, but quick show of hands. How many of you play Farmville on Facebook? Okay, not too many Farmville people. Okay, good. Well, you may have seen, if you're on Facebook, you may see some people playing Farmville. It's one of these social games. Yeah. Now we all kind of laugh about these social games. Well, here's something that's even funnier. Social gamers are going to buy $6 billion in virtual goods. That means they're going to pay $6 billion in cold hard US dollars. Yet only $2.5 billion will be sold in movie concessions. So the social gaming industry, these Farmville people that we laugh at, are spending almost 3 times what the movie industry is going to get from concession money. Huge number. This may or may not be a shock to you. E-readers have outstripped traditional book sales. So Amazon is selling more electronic books than physical books. If Facebook was a country, it'd be the world's 3rd largest and twice the size of the US population. About 800 million people are on Facebook. This is not a small thing. This is not a fad. It has eaten the web. Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, and Britney Spears have more Twitter followers than the entire population of North Korea, Australia, Chile, Israel, Sweden, and Greece. That's an amazing statistic. It's a mind blower. 69% of parents are friends with their children on Facebook. I've got 2 of them. We talked about that game Farmville. Here's a funny one. There were 75 million more people playing Farmville than there are actual farmers. 75 million, right? And then finally, last statistics. In Egypt, some babies have been named Facebook. Okay? So, what's the gist of all this? This thing is major. Okay? It is major. It has changed the basic fabric of the web. It has changed the way people are communicating. If I can have a quick show of hands, how many of you have used Facebook at all ever? Raise your hands. Yeah, see everybody. Okay, good. Now, how many of you would call yourself sort of regular, somewhat regular, ongoing Facebook users? Raise your hands. Okay. So the hands here are showing it. So let's talk about the difference between web media and social media. The two many times get confused, and now I'm talking to you from a business perspective. There's something that we do on Facebook personally. We connect with our friends, we connect with our family. We talk about what we did last night, etc. That's a personal use of Facebook. I kind of want to flip and talk about the business use of Facebook. And I'm sure you've heard all kinds of advice, and most of it's very, very good. I want to help you understand. The topic of my talk is the secret of social media, and I'm going to call it the secret because I go to a lot of company Facebook pages, not personal Facebook, but a lot of company Facebook pages, and I look for some signs, and the signs I'm looking for aren't there, which means to me that most businesses haven't really understood what you really need to do to succeed on social media for your business. Personal is all different. Business. There's a difference between web media and social media, and much of the advice I hear that people or much of the activity I see that people are doing on their businesses, they're doing web media and they're not doing social media. What's web media? Web media is about, it's sort of like it reinvented traditional media, right? Because we've got, what do we do on web media? What should we do on web media, right? We post maybe current events, we put up articles about the company, we put up information, we may post a YouTube video, we may have specials, we may have deals, we may have searching, we may have product availability, airline industry, we make reservations, auto industry, we look at inventory. There's these interactive things. These are all web media things. But I see a lot of people doing the same thing and calling it social media, but it's not. So a lot of people, a lot of businesses, for example, use their Facebook page to do these very things I just rattled off. They post their specials, they post what's going on, they give news, etc. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, you should do it on social media, but it's not social media. See, what goes on with media is very interesting. It's the same kind of a history that all new medias have. TV and radio had the same issue. Whenever there's a new media invented, when a new media comes onto a market, what we typically do first is we use the older media and we just do the same exact thing onto the new media until we understand the difference of the new media. Let me give you a very quick example. When TV came out over radio, first there was radio, TV comes out. The very, very first TV programs was a camera on a radio announcer talking about the news over a microphone. And that was the way the first TV was used. And then they kind of evolved a little bit, and they used to have cameras in front of the people on radio who were doing radio programs when they did radio programs back before I was born, right? So they were using an old media, a new media, just with no changes on top of the old media. That's what's going on with social media right now. We're using Facebook and things like that, and we're doing the exact same things that we sort of should have been doing on the web. We're doing old media, web media, web media is not old media. We're doing old media activities onto the new media without taking the true advantage of it. So what is the nature, if web media is old media, what is the nature? What is the fundamental nature of social media? And the fundamental nature of social media, it's the old thing is new again. It's word of mouth. Social media is about sharing. Social media is about sharing. In fact, if you want to write down a buzzword, social media has transformed word of mouth to world of mouth. Okay? It's a world of mouth world. So really what you want to do on social media is think about sharing. So it's not about you getting your news out. That's web media. It's about engaging in a two-way communication. So if you want to know how well your Facebook page is doing from a business perspective, tell me how many of your customers are talking to you on your Facebook page. Most companies' Facebook pages, I see very, very little two-way communication. Very, very little. In fact, unfortunately, most pages really gone bad. The only kind of two-way communication I see is what? Customer complaints, right? And of course, that's not the kind of two-way, and that's not the type of two-way communication you want. Certainly, it's not the only kind of two-way communication you want. So two-way communication is one thing. Another thing that social media is about is, like I said, about sharing. And when it translates to business, it's about customers sharing about their experience with your company. And again, if you look around to most companies' Facebook pages, very, 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 very few of those pages I see customers sharing about their experience with that company. Very, very few. Right? Again, it shows me not a clear understanding of this issue with social media. You want customers sharing about your company. It's about instant feedback. It's about it's about putting a question and getting feedback from your audience. Again, most of the web stuff, we put stuff out. Very rarely are we asking for stuff back. Again, another benefit of social media is to get stuff back. Most people don't do that. So, let me give you the essence of what's the big secret. What's the big secret, right? So web media is one way. Social media is really two-way. It's really engagement. It's really getting feedback. It's getting customers to share. So here is the clarifying secret of social media. If you want to quote unquote do social media right, what you need to do is figure out what type of content. Here, I wrote down to like a total clarifying question. So here it is. The golden question is, what type of content related to our company will people want to share about themselves? It's all about me, right? It's all about me. Think about, for those of you who are on Facebook on a regular basis, what do people post on Facebook? Come on, what do? They post pictures about the cool place that they're at that you're not at, right? Hi, we're here at the so-and-so meeting and we got invited to this really cool special event. We're here, you're not here. I wish you were here, ha ha ha, right? Or here I am on some really cool exotic location. This is me. Here we are doing this neat thing, and here's my kids, and here's me, and here's me. Right? Am I right? That's what it's all about. All right? We're all a bunch of narcissists telling people how cool our life is. Right? Hoping to make everybody as jealous as we possibly can, right? So that someone says, oh, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was there, right? That's the best feedback you could ever get on Facebook. Yeah? It's like, wow, how cool are you? Right? Right? I mean, that's what it is. That's what it's all about, right? So what you want to do is you want to try to capture that. You want to figure out what is the essence of your company's content that people want to share about themselves. And if you think about it, all of us, at the end of the day, the buying process is fun. Whatever you're buying. Think about when you buy something. At the moment that you buy something, chances are you're extremely excited about it. You're really stoked about it. If it's some new clothes, you're like happy about the new clothes. If you're at a restaurant, you're enjoying the meal. If you bought a car, you're completely stoked about it. What do I guess back in the old days, when people bought cars often, what would you do? You'd drive it home and your neighbors would come out and everybody would look at the car and you'd show it to your family. Everyone's all stoked, right? So those same issues are still what people want to do. So what you want to do as a business is you want to capture that. And here's why you want to capture that. Let me give you some numbers of why the sharing is so important. What would you rather have? Think about this. So for those of you on Facebook, what would you rather have? Would you rather have 1,000 likes on your company page of people sort of reading the stuff that you're posting? Or would you rather have 100 likes, but those 100 are sharing all of your content to 100 of their friends? Do the math. 100 times 100 is 10,000. Right? And far more powerful, frankly, not just the numbers are much more powerful, but far more powerful is the essence of it. Because when you have 100 of your followers sharing with their 100, what are they really doing? It's an implicit endorsement of your company. It's an implicit referral. It's an implicit word of mouth. So the essence of succeeding on business and social media is finding out those things, finding out ways to get your customers, here we go again, finding out ways to get your customers to share your company content about themselves. And that's an art to that. I can't give you a specific I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm talking about, but that's the holy grail. So when you look at your company's Facebook page, and I've given you the statistics that tell you why Facebook is so incredibly important. When you look at the activity on your company's Facebook page, look and see how many of your followers are sharing content about themselves and your company. Look and see how many are giving feedback. Look and see how much activity, how much sharing activity that you're getting. That's the key. And if it's low, then you're not doing it right. The higher it is, the more activity that you're doing. So let me give you some quick examples, and let's do some Q&A. So for example, if I was a restaurant. If I was a restaurant, if I was web media for a restaurant would be what? Menus, hours of operations, daily specials, pictures of food, stuff like that. That's web media. That's one-way kind of stuff. What's two-way stuff? Well, what I would do if I was a restaurant manager is I would have, one or two of my employees walking around doing what everybody wants with it. Here, what do you do when you go to a fancy restaurant? You take a picture, right? You don't take a picture of the table. Some people take a picture of the food, but you take a picture of what? You and whoever you're there with, right? Okay, so why not have a bunch of people walking around the restaurant in their free time, have some of your employees walk around taking pictures of customers enjoying their food, right? And then you say what? You say, oh, by the way, if it's okay with you, we're going to take this picture and we're going to post it on our Facebook page. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? What do you think those people are going to do? Well, at the moment they get home, probably right there on their phones. What do you think they're going to do the moment they see a picture of themselves on your company's Facebook page?
Especially if they get tagged.
Especially if they get tagged. They're going to do what with it? They're going to share it. With who? Their friends. Oh man, we had a great night at the so-and-so restaurant. We had so much fun. Da, 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 da. Right? That's what they're going to do. So that's an example of sharing. And if you want to get kind of like wild with it, I would do a little brief YouTube. All cameras these days do built-in YouTube. I mean, gosh, the phones do YouTube now. Okay. A brief YouTube of what? You wouldn't do a brief YouTube of the chef. No. I do a brief YouTube of a couple. I would even, if I was like to think creatively and completely out of the box, I would do some kind of a special deal in my restaurant where if the guy was going to do a proposal, we would YouTube the proposal for free and put it on our Facebook page. What's more priceless to a young couple than a proposal? And what's going to be more viral? Think about it. What could be more viral than someone sharing a proposal at a restaurant, right? And it gets shared with who? Thousands and thousands of people. You get it? That's the way you want to be thinking about this stuff. What is it that our company does it's an intersection. It's an intersection between people and the business, their content and their lives being shared. That's the magic. This is the secret of social media. If I was in the automotive business, right? Okay, web media, right? You put up your inventory, you put up your sales, you put up your specials. That's web media. And you can do that on your Facebook page too. Nothing wrong with that, because Facebook makes it easy to send stuff out. Fine. What's social media? Well, I would take YouTube videos of a customer getting the keys to their new car that they've been looking for and waiting for, and it's their dream car, and they're completely excited about it, and they just can't wait to jump in their car. I would get the young guys who are jumping into hot rods that are burning rubber off the parking lot. That'd be totally cool. Because the first thing they would do is when they would go home, they would share it. They would share it with their friends. And it started off of my company Facebook page. So it's all about sharing. I would, if there was a young mom buying a minivan, I would take a picture of her putting the baby seat in the back and putting her baby in the back of her brand new car and driving off. Stuff that people are naturally excited about. We all want to share what's going on in our lives. We all want to talk about new experiences. So and there's a moment of buying when we're all very excited about. So what you want to do is you want to capture that moment and then put that clothing. If someone's trying on some new clothes or walking out with new shoes, snap a picture off. Because people will talk about it anyway, so you might as well capture it for them. Do the service of capturing the excitement of a purchase and let the customer share through your page. That is the essence of the secret of social media. Y'all get it? Okay. So here's your action plan. So what you need to do is this. You need to go back and answer the golden question. Here it is again. What content related to my business will customers want to share about themselves? And a corollary to that, a corollary question is, what do customers absolutely love about our company? And that's the essence of what it is. What do they get excited about? And then what you really want to do is you want to get into sort of a deep experimentation. You want to try a bunch of stuff to see what works. Contests and prizes will typically work very well, by the way. Contests and prizes are quite successful, but you got to kind of do it right. You sort of have to do it right. So what's an example of some contests and prizes sort of gone right? Again, back to our restaurant examples. If I had, I would try to think of some kind of a fun creative contest to tell, for example, I would do this. I would say, we're going to give away a dinner for free. We want you to post what your dream date night would be. Post that on our Facebook page, and we'll give a free dinner to the one who comes up with the most creative idea. What's that going to do? It's going to generate all kinds of comments, all kinds of ideas from customers posting on your Facebook page about what their dream night would be. And of course, the way Facebook works, when they post their dream night on your Facebook page, it also shows up on their personal Facebook page. So basically, they're announcing to all their friends that they're joining your contest about a creative evening, and there's a really good chance that their friends will want to join too, because everybody wants to get a free dinner. Right? So you want to engage in these contests that have people, again, putting stuff on your page about what they think. Right? So tie some kind of a giveaway. What you want to do is you want to tie a giveaway, because everyone wants to get something for nothing. Tie a giveaway to some kind of content being posted on your page. If you could do some kind of a post a funny photograph or post a great YouTube video, those are fantastic. Depends on the value of what you're about to offer. If you're going to offer something that's in the hundreds of dollars, you can get people to do a lot, right? Post a picture, we'll pick the winner. Post a video, we'll post the most creative video, etc. Those kinds of things, again, get people sharing about their lives on your page. So, the essence, what I want you to walk away from today on your Facebook page is you want to measure the success by how much are people sharing on your page. That's the key. If they ain't sharing, you ain't doing social media. Nothing wrong with it, but you're not leveraging on the real power of this thing. You're not leveraging on the world of mouth. Okay, we got a few minutes. Do we have a few minutes, sir? Let's take some questions. Yes?
Does that mean we shouldn't do websites, or we should integrate?
Does that mean we shouldn't do website, or should we integrate? You got to have a website, because a website is sort of legitimacy. I would kind of mirror it. If I'm going to post something on my website, I'm going to also post it on my Facebook page. And if you can, there's a lot of technology that allows you to integrate things onto your website. So for example, you can integrate Facebook comments on your website. You can integrate Facebook like buttons on your website. So those two should really be integrated. But I would not give up a website altogether and just go to Facebook.
So try to figure out if there's some way that you're posting stuff on the other way. If you're posting it on your website, it automatically goes to Facebook.
Yes, and there's a lot of there's technologies out there that will allow you to do both or integrate one or the other, but you want to kind of do both. I wouldn't give up website for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yes?
So do you recommend that people allocate their advertising funds to getting somebody who focuses on social media?
Do I recommend my customers reallocating their advertising fund on someone who specializes in social media? I think hiring a quote-unquote social media expert is a good move if you're not comfortable with the mechanics of social media. If you don't know how to start a Facebook page, or you're unfamiliar with sort of setting up a Twitter account, if there's some mechanical issues that you're not familiar with, hiring a social media consultant is a good idea for the purpose of ramping yourself up, getting yourself up to speed. But I firmly believe that an ongoing successful social media strategy campaign has to be done by internal resources. And the reason why it has to be done by internal resources, it has to be your voice. I want to hear about you. A social media is a way for me to connect with you. I want to connect with your company. I want to connect with your people. I don't want to connect with your consultant. Because at the end of the day, your consultant is not intimately involved with your company. They're helpful to ramp you up if you feel that you need to be educated. It's good for that. But make sure you know it's an education process. And once you're educated, you can move on. You should embrace your own. I've seen both. And there's a world of difference between Facebook pages that are sort of run by engaged experts and those that are run by the company themselves.
Twitter, what about Twitter?
What about it? Yeah, Twitter's great. I mean, I have limited time, but Twitter's a great live media stream. If you want to do something live, like if someone was tweeting this event live, they would commenting live. People follow it live. It's a live stream. Dave?
Do you have a single fish story that you can tell how someone used a great idea like christening their car, and then it was, when they picked it up at the new car dealership, and then that went to hundreds of people, and then 40 people came from that christening and then bought a brand new car?
Okay. I don't have a christening car story, unfortunately, Dave. Although I threw you some nuggets out there on your car business. Well, there's a bunch of them out there, but I think the one that pops in my mind right now is Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber was a nobody 2 years ago. Nobody knew who Justin Bieber was 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years later, Justin Bieber sells out Madison Square Garden in 2 hours with no advertising. Justin Bieber was like, if you haven't seen, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie, what's the movie called? Does anybody know what the Justin Bieber movie?
So memorable, you can't remember.
Yeah, I know. I did see it. No Limits, or get the Justin Bieber movie at Blockbuster. It's well worth it for social media purposes. He was a nobody going from radio station to radio station, playing his guitar the old-fashioned way, until he started tweeting out. He decided he was going to start to tweet out the next radio station he was going to be at. The next time he does it, he shows up at a mall in New York. The fire marshal had to close the mall because too many people hadn't showed up. Justin Bieber was discovered by 14-year-olds on YouTube. Okay, so there's a quick one for you. Yeah, yes?
I just wanted a quick example of maybe a bad contest.
A quick example of a bad contest? I don't have one to give you offhand, but again, it would be determined by, are you, for example, maybe a like. The ones, give us a like. That's kind of lame. If you give us a like, yeah, okay, it's good, but that's not showing me, that's not sort of giving me some good feedback. I've seen some things go bad where people start complaining like crazy on a Facebook page. I've seen that. I've seen situations where people complain on a Facebook page and the company doesn't even respond for 3 days because they're not paying attention to what's going on. So there's some bad examples of it. But again, you want to look at the essence of measuring success is how much time are people spending sharing. Sharing is caring. Sharing is the whole deal on your Facebook page. Okay, we'll take one final question if there's anybody. Okay. Thank you very much, folks. We'll be in touch. Aloha. Thanks, Sam.
Great. That's great, Peter. Thank you. Now we're all socially active.